It's the first time we've had to do Tell the Truth Monday with an L in a long time, right?
I thought they played great.
I'm ready to tell the truth about these guys, though, Brian.
I thought they were great. I don't know what everybody's so worried about.
Speak your truth, Jeff.
Speak your truth. Okay, guys, and Tell the Truth Monday, most disappointing, Cowboys defending the run or the Cowboys offensive skill guys drops?
Oh, I think it was just a couple of key drops in massive moments, but they could have won despite those drops. I think getting beat in the running game was all game long. So it's like you have chances to man up on the sideline. The coaches have a chance to make some sort of an adjustment or say something to you, and it never changed, where the drops are just a momentary lapse in execution.
Okay. I got to take the other side, right? That's kind of the point of the game, right?
No, you can take the other side.
I'll take the other side.
Just Tell the Truth Monday. You just tell the truth.
There is no way to take the other side other than to just tell those people who did drop the ball, like, look, the quarterback was playing like butt and you were blocking like butt.
Yeah.
Somebody had to at least do their job adequately to try to get it back going, and it could have been any of you. Cedric, Coop, Pollard, anybody.
Yeah.
Just do your job to the bare minimum. And maybe you could have jump-started this thing.
Yeah.
But instead it was, so we're not going to block well, throw well, and we're not going to catch the good balls. Okay, this will be fun. Not catching the ball was a problem. That was a problem.
Yeah, defending the run, I can kind of understand. But, man, these guys, a couple of those guys, like Coop having a drop, who hadn't had a drop all year.
Right.
Wide open. Coop makes big plays. And then Pollard hadn't had a drop all year.
Easy, too. Just a nice, easy slant.
Third and one. Here we go.
Catch the ball.
Big play. Let's go. And I think those are the kinds of things. Maybe that was something that they needed. Maybe that was the one thing that was going to kind of get them. Maybe like the old block punt, that if it stays behind the line of scrimmage, it kind of gets them going into the thing. But, the run defense, that was bad. But the drops, you don't expect those guys to drop the ball, and especially three of them like that in the open field. So I'd probably say the drops myself. Okay, my next question.
If we just caught one of them, after Dak threw together all of that garbage time stuff, he really should have ended the game with like 90 yards.
Yeah.
But after he put together all the garbage time stuff, if just one of you would have caught the pass, could have completed over 50% of our passes.
Yeah.
19 of 39. If I could have got to 20, would have felt a little bit better.
Felt a little better, man.
Yeah.
Can you continue to live with the Diggs penalties?
If the Diggs penalties come with the Diggs interceptions. The picture of Trevon Diggs is going to be very, very different if he doesn't pick off a pass in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If he's still at 7 interceptions and it's still a penalty a week, maybe 2, now he no longer is rocking a donut in the touchdowns allowed category. He's more... Did you guys watch the game last night? Did you guys watch the Rams and the Titans?
Yeah.
Trevon Diggs is way more Marcus Peters than Jalen Ramsey.
Of course, yeah. Good.
Like Jalen Ramsey is a freak show.
No question.
Jalen,
good eye. Yeah.
The Rams are really very strategic about what they're doing with the draft picks, because it was like, hey, what's it worth to go get the best corner in football? Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, sorry we didn't draft good players, but if we're going to acquire them, we're going to have the best D tackle and the best corner.
Mm-hmm.
And Ramsey is now, I believe, the best corner, the best nickel corner,
best safety.
The best safety.
Yeah.
I believe he's the best all of those in football, and that's what they're using him as. Our guy is more Marcus Peters, where I can make it hurt. I'll make you pay if you screw up. But if you don't screw up, I'm not great. I'm okay.
Yeah.
He's okay. But if you screw up, it'll hurt.
Yeah.
So we'll think about him differently if he doesn't have a pick in the next couple weeks.
I'm willing to live with some of the penalties because of what you get, but everything that Jeff said is right. You know, what he was doing was unsustainable, and there were signs that, the rest of his game was not up to that level. So I think I'm going to live with it because I know we have to. That's how he's going to play. He's going to try to beat you up and get you out of your route, and as that ball is in the air, he's going to be physical with you and try to box you out. So those are going to come with flags. But in order to get those takeaways, you kind of got to play that brand unless you have like Dion or Revis type of stick with you.
Yeah, I totally like what you both are saying there. I think the unfortunate thing for Diggs penalty, and I know it was something, it gave the Broncos another shot to throw like the Hail Mary right before the end of the half, which they didn't get off. I mean, you pressured them, you covered, and they couldn't get the ball off. But before that play, you had an interception from Jordan Lewis. you're going to, now you've snuffed the drive and you're going to get off the field, okay. But then Diggs gets a penalty on the other side for holding, and it was no reason for him to hold. There was no reason for him to hold. He just grabbed the guy and pulled the guy, off his route.
Yeah.
And it's not even a play that's in his direction. It's just him being sloppy with his technique. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, the pass interference, when you watch the All-22, the pass interference, he got there way early. I appreciate his aggressiveness, but man, I wonder. I mean, like Jeff and you guys are saying, if he doesn't intercept more and you continually get penalties, I think the narrative about him is going to completely change.
It's like the whole trip and clip type of stuff, you know, and he's just got to get a little bit better at hiding it.
I think you're right about that.
When you get beat, football, basketball, soccer, like there's tricks to get an elbow, a shoulder, a knee, a hip, something in the way. You just got to be a little more subtle with it.
There you go. We talked about this in the crosstalk. Does the short yardage offense give you any pause about going for it as much as you do?
Oh yeah, 100%. We talked about Collins at left guard. I think when Steele is healthy, or when Smith is healthy, you put Steele at right tackle, you put Collins at left guard. That's going to give you a chance. But I think yesterday they admitted it. I think yesterday they finally said, hey, we're not good at this and we need to stop. Punting and field goals is what's going to be in our best interest. And it's an indicator of how physical you can be. And again, once you get to the NFC playoffs, there are at least two teams I can think of that are really going to punish you and make running damn near impossible. And they looked at it last Tuesday at the trade deadline and said, we're fine. We like our team. You needed to get beefier in the middle of your offensive line, and you need to get beefier in the middle of your defensive line. And they're like, no, we're good.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I would worry about it at this point because you're used to I
like them going for it, but I think there's some concern there. You don't block it well enough to go for it like that.
And that's the thing is that you can't just take this is how often teams convert fourth down. It's not about teams. It's about us.
Yeah.
How often are we going to convert on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2? And in my mind, the Cowboys should be better than your average team. So they should be super aggressive. And some games that's worked out for them. This last game, obviously, it didn't. Other games, it hasn't. And so, you have to factor that in. I'll always be on the side of be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
Try to win.
Yeah.
Don't try to avoid losing. Try to win.
Right.
Like the Chargers last night when it was 4th and 1, I knew they were going for it because I knew Brandon Staley would play that way.
Sure.
Because he was not going to kick a field goal to give you a minute and a half to see if you could kick a field goal. He was going to say, we're going to win the game. You're not going to touch the ball again. So I love the mindset and I love doing things that way. But in a game maybe where you can't trust your offensive line, in a season where suddenly your short yardage back who's been automatic throughout his career, you guys just cannot convert when you need 1 yard, you got to start looking at it a little differently.
Yeah.
Until you can block it better.
I agree with you.
And hey, Dak, change the play.
Yeah.
You were never going to get the first one unless somebody missed a tackle.
Yeah.
That was just math. You had 6 blockers. They had 7 dudes.
Yeah.
You were never going to get that unless Justin Simmons ran the wrong direction or Zeke stiff-armed him through planet Earth.
Yeah.
That was going to be one-on-one.
That was going to be. You're right about that. They picked the wrong guy to leave unblocked for sure. My final question to you guys, which bothered you more? Dak Prescott saying they got whooped or Terrence Steele saying that playing left tackle was harder than he thought?
Neither one bothers me because I am team be willing to say something. So I like both of those. The one that sucks more is Terrence Steele's admission that left tackle is harder than he thought because his job in the NFL, unless a team is so impressed with what he's done over the last 5 weeks and is going to trade for him this offseason to be their starting right tackle, your job is never going to be right tackle. Unless all the teams in football are going to carry a backup right tackle and a backup left tackle, the job is offensive tackle.
Learn both. Yeah.
You're going to have to play that spot.
Yeah.
And so that one is more bothersome because it's a guy that throughout his career, I believe, is going to be expected to play there some. So you're going to have to figure it out.
So it's Dak saying we got whooped?
Yeah. Which bothered you more? Dak postgame said we just got whooped, or Terrence Steele saying that playing left tackle was harder than he thought? These are both things that were said postgame last night.
A little more context. Why would the Dak one bother me? Because he's just kind of, it's a throwaway comment like, oh, we just got whooped.
No, we got, well, not because it was a throwaway, because they got whooped. Like they shouldn't, I mean, him admitting that they physically got beat up.
Well, I like him admitting that. I think that's what leaders do. It was a letdown on every facet, and I don't think you should be running from it. Yeah, harder than I thought. Why? How are we not figuring these things out? Why did we put Terrence Steele over there? I don't understand how that wasn't part of the discovery process last week in practice. Like, you shouldn't be showing up to play left tackle without Randy giving you the full repertoire a half dozen times in both practices, and then be like, hey, how does that footwork work when you have a badass coming after you? Oh, it doesn't work. Let's try Collins. Like, they should have been going back and forth to determine next pass rusher, Golston, how can you do against Steele? How can you do against Collins? Oh, well, there's another win for Collins. Now let's come over here to right tackle. Like, there should have been a lot more due diligence figuring that out than, oh, man, that was hard. And they weren't even good pass rushers the Broncos brought to the party, running right around him. So, yeah, I guess we shouldn't beat up too much on Steele because everybody took part in that massive disappointment. But, I would have gone through a little bit more discovery if it was me.